Hello students. So today we'll study lesson 7 cyber safety. So today we'll discuss the topic many ways websites track you. So what are the different ways how websites track you? So how do we get tracked? So it is important to understand this. Suppose you are looking for the coaching classes online, and after a day or so you start receiving emails from various websites that offer you the online tutorials, coaching material, and even home tuitions. So although you did not serve or registers any one of these sites, but then also they are giving you the mails how they came to know about you that you are searching for the online coaching classes that you are searching for the coaching classes. So the websites when you have surfed, so your all information is saved by that websites. So although you did not surf or register any one of these sites, then how come these websites got the details of the data when you were looking for online? This is because when you surf the net, the websites keep a track of your activities. So whenever you are using the net, so the websites keep a track of your activity. The websites make a record of your activities, what you are searching, and uses the data to share you to track you. And this data is compromised by the third party, and this data is sold to the third party, and the third party by using this data they give you the messages or notifications. These websites also collect the information about the type of websites and the pages you are visiting, which types of websites you are visiting and what type of pages you are visiting on the website. Your location also they store what you usually read or search for on the internet. This basically can be termed as online tracking. So all these websites make a record of your uh, surfing, what you are searching on the internet. So like this, the websites track you. Next is the tracking script. So how do these websites keep a track online? Tracking scripts are used for this purpose. Scripts are the code. So tracking scripts can be deployed on any website and can track visitors easily. Tracking script identifies the number of people using your site and their characteristics. So tracking script of any website records the number of people visiting that websites and their characteristics, means what they are visiting and for what number of time they are active on that websites. So these scripts are designed in such a way that they can be downloaded and cached safely in a browser. There are also many ways available to configure the tracking scripts. The most common tracking scripts are Google Analytics and the Quantcast. So this Google Analytics is a tracking software. Fortunately, they are mainly built-in browser options. So already in the browsers they are present. So fortunately, there are many built-in browser options which may save you from tracking. So here are the different ways by which the websites track you. Websites track you with the help of the IP addresses. Now, how do you receive a letter through post? Because the letters are delivered to the addresses. So similarly, uh, every website, every computer, every mobile which is connected to the internet is allocated an IP address that is called the internet protocol address. So with the help of this IP address, uh, the documents or the web pages are delivered to the client. To the client means here the machine, the laptop or the mobile. So how do you receive a letter through post? It is because of a postal address which is unique. Similarly, the IP address is also unique. Whenever we send a request for a home page or for a web page, so that request is sent with the help of a unique address that is called the IP address. Similarly, when the data is transferred from one computer to the other in a network, it is done with the help of the unique numerical address assigned to the hardware, that is the computer, router, or printer. So when the data is transferred from one computer to the other in a network, it is done with the help of a unique numerical address This is IP address that is called a 32-bit address. So IP address is a 32-bit address and it is assigned to the each hardware, each computer, each router or printer which is connected over the network. So this is called an IP address. An IP address is an acronym for the Internet Protocol address, and it is similar to our home or office address. As our home has a unique address, as our office has a unique address. Similarly, each computer mobile has a unique IP address, but it is not a static. It is changing continuously. So whenever you visit a website, the device you share an IP address with the websites. So with the help of this IP address, the websites can roughly estimate your geographical location. Your IP address must look like this. As you can see 161.102.65.121. So this is a one digit is a 4-bit address, as you can see. This is a 32-bit address. So as you can see in the diagram, the IP address of one computer and the IP address of the server. That is the destination IP address of the server to whom you are sending the request for the home page. Now, after processing the server, fetching out the home page of the website, and it sends to that computer whose IP address is 161.102.65.121, which is unique. Next, with the help of the cookies, websites track us. How? These cookies are the small data files which are sent by the websites you visit and are generated by your browser. So whenever you visit any website, the browser generate a cookies, and these cookies are a small data files where the information of the URL address of which websites you are visiting, that is saved. So cookies are used to track your record of visit of to a particular website or web page, that how many times you have visited. A website recognizes you with the help of the cookies only. So when you again visit that website, similarly when you use your credit card for any transaction, so a cookie will store your login information, that your ID and password, that it will ask you many times when you are that whether this is to be saved or not. So if you click on the save option, so it will be saved. So if the next time you will log in to your account, so automatically you will find the login ID and password fields are already filled. So only just you have to press the enter key. So that is done with the help of the cookies only. So a website recognizes you with the help of the cookies when you again visit that website, and similarly when you use your credit card for any transactions, a cookie will store your login information, and the different web browsers have different privacy settings. So you can go to your browser settings and choose the private browsing. This will provide you control over which kind of cookies you will accept. If you don't want to allow cookies, you may disable them also. So see, there are three types of cookies: first party cookie, third party cookie, and the session cookie. Now what is the first party cookie? So these kind of cookies are generally used to store your login ID password. The first party cookie stores the login ID, password, autofill information, etc. for the frequently visited websites. For example, when you use your card to recharge your phone, the site stores all the login information and you will only have to enter the password or CVC numbers, so that it will be automatically filled. Next is the third party cookies. These are the cookies that website stores to get details of your search history. So third party cookies stores your search history, means what you have searched uh, today and in the last week. All details it will be saved in the third party cookies. So these are the cookies that websites store to get details of your search history and web browsing history. So these are the most often used by advertising companies to track you across the multiple websites that you visit. Third is the session cookies. These are temporary cookies that are deleted after you close down your browser. So when we close the browser, so that a session cookies whatever is stored, that is deleted. These are temporary cookies. They help to establish the connection. That is called the session cookies. Now the third topic is the super cookies or the persistent cookies. Super cookies are the type of tracking cookie. This is also tracking cookies which are designed to permanently reside on the user's device. So these super cookies are present on the user's device. These are the inserted into the HTTP header. So these super cookies are inserted in the HTTP header of the packets with the help, and these are inserted by the internet service providers. Super cookies are used by the ISPs companies to gather the data about the browsing history and the habits of a user. Means internet service providers companies are also using the super cookies to collect the information of the user. These are also known as unique identifier headers. Unlike web cookies, super cookies are difficult for the users to detect. So web cookies can be detected, but the super cookies cannot be detected by the users and removed from their browsers or devices. So they can camouflage, which can prevent their detection. So these cookies are used to target users for specific advertising and promotional purpose, but can be so internet service providers collect this information to give the advertisement for a particular product and for the promotional purpose, but can be a potential privacy threat to the users. Thus, without the user's consent, without the user's permission, passing such information about their subscribers can be unethical on the part of the internet service provider. These are not ethical part, ethical thing on the part of the internet service provider because they are without the user's permission. Internet service providers, which internet you are using, they are collecting your information, and that information they use to sell the advertisement companies for the advertisement. So next is the HTTP referer. So what is this HTTP referer? HTTP referer, while browsing a website, when you click on the website link to open the source of the information, you requested for the data like your IP address, location, machine type, web browser, etc. is sent to the linked website. So whenever we browse a website, so we click on the website link to open the source of information like the IP address of that website, location, machine type, and the web browser is sent to the linked website. Now the websites will not only set up a cookie in your browser, but also record the URL of the websites where you came from. So the HTTP referer can be defined as an online source which increases the visits and the number of visitors to a website. So HTTP referral means while visiting a web page website, if he wants to refer the person to some another website, means for a promotion purpose. So those will visit my web page. Maybe you will advise him, or maybe you will give a link to visit the another website also. So that is called the HTTP referral. Means you are referring someone to another website. So that is done with the help of the HTTP referrer. So HTTP referrer can be defined as an online source which increases the visits and the number of visitors to a website. So it may include search engines, links from other websites, social media, online advertisements, email marketing campaigns, and links built into the software. So a referral log is also maintained, means who is referring, which can lead to the referring page and the link that was clicked to reach a new website. As you can see in the example here, the figure 7.4, the HTTP referrer. So when you click on the link, keeps best is school computer books. So when you click on this link, a new page websites open up. Your information like your IP address and location, etc., will also be provided to that website. So that is the HTTP referrer. So this is all for the today's students. In the next class, we will study the remaining topics. Thank you for your kind attention.